So I know it's been like over 2 weeks since the season dropped, but I lead a busy life, guys. The fact that you've seen me twice in the past month is a rarity. Anyways, Stranger Things dropped on the 4th of July and I want to talk about it. I'm not going to be extremely long though, I'm still pretty exhausted from that Spider-Man video. I'm going to get straight to the point explaining what I like and didn't like about Stranger Things Season 3. Also spoilers, like seriously, holy shit, I am not holding back this time around. If I really had to put my finger on it, my biggest issue with this season probably has to be the feeling that the Duffer Brothers don't really know where to take the show next. It feels like there wasn't really an overall plan for the show despite the duo apparently wanting 4 seasons. It's not as bad as season 2, which wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen, but it was easily the weakest season. It's not even that this season is terrible, it's just that it retreads certain ground that previous seasons already have. A main character is separated from the group for almost the entire season. Hopper and Joyce are doing their investigation to save Hawkins and keep their children safe. And Jonathan and Nancy are investigating their own little mystery that's somehow connected, but nobody takes them seriously because of their gender or their age. I feel like when people say Stranger Things has now become a character show, not a show based on an interesting plot, this is what they mean. The actual plot of this season is extremely repetitive, and if it was any other show, I probably would have dropped it here and now. You guys already know how I feel about uninteresting shows with repetitive formulas. But luckily, the Stranger Things cast is really strong and enjoyable to watch, and it's one of the only reasons I really keep watching. The standouts this season definitely has to be the big three, Hopper, Billy, and Steve. Sorry, Alexi. I have a new love in my life. And don't worry, we'll talk about the deaths in a sec. Billy is kind of our main antagonist this season. I say kind of because he's just possessed by the Mind Flayer like Will was in season 2. Only thing is, that nigga is crazier now. Billy himself gets a lot of character development and is a lot more interesting to watch. Season 2 Billy was scummy and entertaining, but Season 3 Billy could have been a main character. The only thing is, they kind of had to ignore a lot of aspects of his character to make him more sympathetic by the end of the show. Like his racism, his abusive behavior towards Max, and him being a literal homewrecker. Shit like that is what I'm talking about, where it doesn't feel like there's a bigger plan, like there wasn't a very cohesive idea for Billy. Regardless, he's by far the best villain the show ever had, and I love every second he's on screen. Hopper is off his rocker the entire season because they're both trying to take care of a teenage Eleven and trying to get through to a grieving Joyce. He's pretty much always losing his shit this season, and it's great to watch on top of David Harbour's already incredible acting. Steve, aka the best single mom ever, is just the most wholesome character in the entire show. And his arc of douchebag to best boy pretty much comes full circle with the character of Robin this season. Their friendship, as well as his friendship with Dustin, are some of the best parts of this entire show. There's other interesting things like Eleven losing her powers and thus she's not the answer to every single problem in the show anymore. Cute shit like Susie being real, also Will's reaction is the best fucking thing I've seen on the entire internet, I swear. Scratch that, this entire fucking scene, everybody's reaction is just the best scene in the entire show. What the fuck was I saying? Hopper's final speech is pretty great. Will and the boys making up before the finale, cute shit. But now into what I fucking hated! Mike is a sack of shit this season and it's completely unfair. While he didn't do that much in season 2, he's pretty much been the leader for these past 2 seasons always. But I don't know what they did with him this time. Mike's entire arc is learning how to be a good boyfriend. I'm not fucking kidding. His entire arc. It takes him up until the final episode to admit that he loves Elle and for them to make up. What the fuck? Who said this was okay? Eleven's arc is fine and fitting for her character, but it feels like she's just moving farther and farther into the background. It feels like characters like Max, Lucas, and Will don't really get to do a lot besides wacky shenanigans. Will gets a few great moments in one particular episode, but besides that, he is just the birds from Bird Box. I'm not making this up, I swear. Also, wow, does the opening of the show put into perspective how many characters there are. The first 4 episodes basically separate all the characters into groups of 2 and they slowly come together. And not only does it take forever, but it feels like the cast has kind of become crowded. If your favorite character isn't one of the main kids, you're fucked. In reality, it doesn't take that long to get the show going, but there's just so many moving parts that it just feels slow. And now, this is the part where we talk about the ending. Killing Hopper, Billy, and Alexi was absolutely ridiculous and unneeded. If you were one of the people who felt like Bob and Barb were misused and abused, then this finale will probably piss you off. The lead up to watching this show for me was ridiculous because everybody kept telling me that the finale is so crazy and all this bullshit when it really isn't. Alexi serves as the Bob of this season. He's innocent, he does nothing wrong, but he's too happy so he gets shot in the fucking gut. Billy sacrifices himself to complete his arc when he could have just stayed alive and become a better person. And Hopper's death is a dumb sacrifice that makes no fucking sense. There's like 5 exits from this specific room. What the fuck are you doing? Just jump the rail! When your show even hints to the fact that your most impactful death didn't even happen, there's a problem. Yeah, all in all, I didn't hate this season. I did like it, I just have my problems with it. The show's gotten more and more flawed as it's gone on. Hopefully, they'll trim the fat and fix the problems before season 4 premieres. If any of this sounds interesting, go ahead and watch it. After it all gets started, it passes by really fast. If you're still iffy on it, steal your friend's Netflix account and form your own opinion. Later, nerds.